Hey, I am gonna show you my basic dry manicure. This is easy to add to any service. Let's jump in.
This is a dry process, so I do not want to use water. So the first step is I'm taking my cuticle pressure to do an evaluation. What I'm asking my client right now is, how does this feel? What I'm doing is I'm gently releasing the cuticle off of the nail plate so I don't overfile this nail plate. Now that I know that my client's comfort level is fine, I know that I'm going to be able to take my Cuticle Sciver and between 5 and 12,000 RPMs, I'm going to exfoliate the dead cuticles off the nail plate. So there's two different techniques I can be running with. I could have my e-file in reverse, and if I'm in reverse, I'm working from left to right. What I want to do is I want the bit to catch the skin and pull it off of the nail plate. So think up and off. Or my other option is to work in the center of the nail in the forward direction and work down the left side of the nail. I would do all 10 fingers like that, and then I would switch my e-file into reverse and work down the right side. For my lefties, you're gonna do things opposite. So for my client skin type, I'm gonna run at about 7,000 RPMs, and I'm gonna choose today to work in reverse as I show you guys the basic dry manicure. Okay, so let's begin. I am pulling back my client's skin because I want to be sure to expose all of these dead skin cells. I'm starting right here at a parallel position, and I'm allowing my bit to do the work. I'm gently pushing into the proximal nail fold, and as you can see, just with 2 passes, I'm pushing up that cuticle area. Be sure to rotate your client's hand. I never want to use the bit and floss, pulling the skin so that I can see all those dead skin cells. Okay. Be sure that you change your client's hand position so that you can get in there and remove the dead skin cells. Remember, that is what causes lifting. So cleaning this from the nail plate is just setting the nail up for success. Remember, the goal is to clean the nail plate by gently removing dead tissue while redefining the shape of the proximal nail fold without damaging the nail plate. We never want to file blindly, so once I have a lot of dust like this, I want to be sure that I remove it with a nylon brush. I spray alcohol, 70% or more, on my brush, and then I push towards my client in circular motions. That way none of the debris gets stuck in between the proximal nail fold and the nail plate. Great, super cleaned up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my barrel and I'm going to scratch up the surface of the nail plate. What I'm doing here is diamond is dual cutting. So that means it's cutting in the both forward and reverse direction. And since I'm going to apply gel, I want to make sure that this tip of the nail has texture. I'm also laying it flat on the cuticle and just making sure this is really nicely well groomed. Perfect. So here's a little bit of a trick if you're having issues with lifting. After I do about 2 fingers like this, I am going to spray with alcohol again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a second and see what this nail plate looks like. So I'm making sure that I can see it become chalky as well as textured. I do not want it to be smooth. And sometimes when you have an oily nail plate, or if it's flexible, what you'll be able to see is that it doesn't look roughed, but it almost looks smooth. So in this case, it's not as chalky as I would like it to be. So I am going to switch to a sanding band to do my prep work. And this way you guys will be able to see too what the difference is. So I'm going to run my sanding band at 4,000 RPMs. We do not want to be too rough. It just took the alcohol a little longer to absorb, but what I want is for the whole nail to look like that, not just in the center. So I'm just at 4,000 RPMs, scuffing this up, just tickling that nail plate very, very gently. Very gentle. Beautiful. I want you guys to be able to see, because this is a common thing that can happen. Over time, your diamond bits can actually smooth the nail plate versus rough. We have to have texture. So, all right, go ahead and take a look at that. See how you can see the chalkiness and the texture throughout the whole nail? That is exactly what I want to see before I apply product. Now that you have prepped all the nails, tuck the cuticle back, prime, double base, add your color and top coat, and we have a beautiful nail. Quick and easy. The dry mani approach can be used on even the most basic service. It's quick and efficient, making for a longer lasting and more beautiful nail because dead skin cells have been removed and aren't getting stuck in between the product. I recommend first trying this on yourself and working on friends or family. Once you feel comfortable, introduce it to your clients.
Let's recap the bit we just used for the basic dry mani.
The Safety Sciver is Erica's most universal cuticle bit that can be done before any service. It was made over 30 years ago by Erica's ATA founder, Ed, also my dad, and has always been one of our most popular bits. The smaller size and rounded top leaves little room for operator air. This is an excellent bit for beginner e-file users too.